event here today, and we thank you for attending. I'm Julie Lavender, the principal here at Allen Frear, and here with me are a few people that I'd like to take a moment and introduce as they are part of our school team. We have Dr. Christina Aloyas, our superintendent of the Cesar Rodney School District. Dr. Todd Klowinski is our environmental specialist for the Cesar Rodney School District. We have Kelly Rogers, is our assistant principal here at Allen Frear. We have Kim Cole, she's our achievement liaison teacher and our eco team leader. We also have a member of our school board, Mrs. Jessica Morelli. And we have some eco team members. We have Sarah, we have Alden, we have Logan, we have Charlotte, and we have Danae. So our eco team here at Allen Frear consists of students that are dedicated to understanding our impact on the local ecosystem by becoming environmental stewards who care for our lands, our waters, and our diverse communities through civic action. They also strive to develop sustainable schools that reduce our schools' negative environmental impact on the environment, improve our health and wellness, and also work to increase our environmental literacy. The eco team will take the initiative to begin our journey with the Litter-Free Schools program as they work to keep our outdoor spaces clean, litter-free, and of course beautiful. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Christina Aloyas, the superintendent of the Cesar Rodney School District.
Good morning and welcome to the Cesar Rodney School District. Thank you, Mrs. Lavender, Mr. Klowinski, or Dr. Klowinski, who is in the back there, Mrs. Cole, and of course, Frear's Eco Team. I am so proud of your commitment to your school campus and to our community. So over 5 years, we've had the advantage to build a strong network of community partners, some of them who are with us here today that have helped us to build these beautiful outdoor learning spaces that will be litter-free with our new program. We're excited to host this event and encourage students to keep their school grounds litter-free, while also raising public awareness regarding schools as a central component to a vibrant community. Clubs, classes, and even entire school districts can participate in the Litter-Free School Zone program. Keeping their school litter-free is an easy and fun way for students to work together, learning valuable community leadership and responsibility skills, while gaining respect for the environment and the world around them. As Mrs. Lavender mentioned, it is also an opportunity to develop a school-wide stewardship ethic and set a community example. Governor Carney, as I turn the microphone over to you, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to be a part of this announcement.
Well, I am so excited to be here with all of you, particularly these young environmentalists. One of the most important objectives that we have here in state government is to make our state as environmentally friendly and as clean and free of litter as possibly could be. A couple years ago, we launched our DE is Litter Free campaign across the state. We have lots of partners with Julie and her team, with the schools, with businesses across our state, and now with our Litter-Free Schools program, an important addition to the work that we're doing. One of the most important things that I do as governor, students here, is to make Delaware an attractive place for those of us who live here and for visitors who come every day. We just had this big world famous golf tournament, the BMW Championship, in the northern part of our state. We invited thousands of visitors from around the world, 70 of the best golfers in the world, and all their fans and people that visited our state. And we wanted to present to them a state that was clean and free of litter. And we did a pretty good job. We have a lot of work to do. As I travel around the state, I see a lot of litter. People just, particularly at stoplights, or people stop their car and just roll down the window and throw things out the window. So in addition to getting adults to be conscious of the need to not to litter and to keep our state, our highways and byways clean, I think it's important also so that we bring young people into that ethic. When I was a young person like you, back so many years ago in the 1960s when Lyndon Johnson was the president. We had a national campaign to address the litter problem here in the United States of America. Lady Bird Johnson, who was the wife of the president, took that on as her cause, and we had a very active campaign to stop litter across the country. One of the things I remember most about that, they had a TV ad with an American Indian, a Native American, who was standing on the side of the road in his full headdress, and somebody drove by and threw a whole pile of litter that landed at his feet. And the most important part of that, I think the most impactful part of that was, as the person drove by and he looked down at this litter, a tear wound its way down the Native American's cheek. And it was an indicator, obviously, of how sad he was, and all of us should be, about this problem of litter here. When I visit schools, every school that I go into is so clean, so free of litter, not just Allen Frear here elementary in the Caesar Rodney district, but every school across the state. And the reason is we take tremendous pride, and particularly those district employees whose responsibility is to keep the school buildings clean, in those buildings. Because what happens in those buildings, the education of our children, this ECHO team and the rest of the students here are so critically important to all of us, to parents, to communities, to the future of our state. We should take the same pride, and I think the reason for this program, reason that I'm so excited about the program, is because we're going to take that same pride in the outdoor areas across Delaware. And so in addition, I want to thank Julie, I want to thank her team, I want to thank Secretary Majeski, who I think is going to speak in a couple of minutes about her team. She's got these teams that go out on the highways and byways on a regular basis, cleaning up litter and doing a tremendous job. I've joined them on a number of occasions, in fact, not too far from here, just recently. But we shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to rely on other people to pick up our litter and our trash. We should stop throwing it out there in the first place. And that's the fundamental message, students, to you. You who are part of our ECHO team in trying to keep our environment clean and attractive to all of those of us who live here and our visitors. I would like to recognize Representative Urick, who's here. This is his district. We appreciate the partnership we have with him in the legislature. Dr. Holodick, who's the big superintendent, I guess, the Secretary of Education, who's been a great partner, and to Secretary Majeski and your team. We'll hear from you in a minute. Next up is Mike Parkowski, who's going to introduce Secretary Majeski. And to our students, again, thank you for your involvement in the ECHO team. Thank you for involvement in this program to keep our schools litter-free. I don't think it's going to be a big lift because our schools are pretty darn clean in the first instance. But you can be great examples to your older brothers and sisters, to your parents, to your friends, that it's just unacceptable to roll down the window in your car and throw litter out, which is essentially mostly what happens. If you stop at any red light, just look to the one side or the other, and you're going to see that that's what people have been doing. And to Julie and your team, thank you for the public service efforts of your people. So with that, where's Mike? There he is.
Thank you, Governor. So I'm Mike Parkowski. I work for DSWA, Delaware Solid Waste Authority, but I also serve as chair of a board for Keep Delaware Beautiful. So I'm very proud of that. But most importantly, I'm a Caesar Rodney High School alumnus, so I'm very happy to be here at Allen Frear. My job today is to explain how this program works. And so if any school in the state, whether it be elementary, middle, high school, can sign up for this program. And all they have to do is go to keepdelawarebeautiful.com and register. And once they do that, they have to assemble a team, just like this great eco team we have here from Allen Frear. And the team will go out and pick up litter. And they want to schedule at least 2 events. And once they've completed that, when they go out, they're going to record all the litter that they collect and tally it. and provide that information back to Keep Delaware Beautiful. And this is important so we can tell what kind of litter we're getting, so we can, do some advertising to try to stop that particular type of litter. We have very various types of litter throughout the state, so we're going to record that. Give us the totals, let us know the frequency of the cleanups, the dates they're picking it up, and how many students are participating. And then, once they've completed that, they're going to get a great sign, which I'm not going to spoil that because Secretary Majeski's going to show us that sign. And they're going to get a great sign out front, and it's going to be a beacon to the community. Just as the governor said, the schools are very clean already, but if we keep them clean and we can show these kids can be a great example to the community that they serve, and all the parents and all the people come to these schools every day, and they see that, and hopefully that's going to pass on to the rest of the community. So with that, it's my pleasure now to introduce Secretary Nicole Majeski.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. We are so excited to be here. I will say, it was funny because they were like, what is the Department of Transportation? How does this all fit? And as I was saying to the eco team before we got started, whenever I'm talking to groups, the top two things that I talk about are safety and litter. And unfortunately, we are just seeing an increased amount of litter on our roadways. Already this year, our crews and our volunteers, because we have tremendous Adopt a Highway and Adopt a Sponsor groups that are out there helping us, they've already picked up 40,000 bags of trash along our roads. Isn't that 40,000 bags of trash? So having eco teams and having students now be part of this litter-free school zone is so great. Being able to expand our outreach, to be able to promote the Keep Delaware Litter-Free campaign is just so great. And having more schools hopefully get involved in this, and the efforts to extend our outreach throughout the state. The partnerships that we have with the Department of Education, the Cesar Rodney School District, with Keep Delaware Beautiful, we cannot thank you enough for doing this and for raising awareness and for getting involved and getting out there. If we're ever going to solve this problem, it's going to start here with this eco team. So we are super excited to be part of the announcement for the litter-free school zones, and we have some other exciting announcements that are going to be, we're going to be giving more details later this fall, but partnering with the Department of Education and with the Keep Delaware Beautiful, we're going to be doing some poster contests for kids and some scholarship opportunities. So we are so excited because, again, the more outreach that we can do and promote Keep DE litter free, the better. So I am excited that I get to, I think we have a sign to unveil, and a huge thank you to the Del Dot Sign Shop for creating the sign for us. So kids, eco team, come on over.
Why don't we invite Representative Garrett and Dr. Holliday, why don't you all come up and everybody can gather around.
You get to unveil it.
Yeah.
We're gonna stand over here. All right, so somebody take this. Ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go up.
Good job. Way to go. Back to work.
Yes. Well, again, thank you. We are so excited to begin this journey, and unfortunately, the weather ruined our plans because we have a beautiful front swale, also known as the best management practices. Got it. Long story short, for over about 5 years, our eco team, not necessarily everyone standing here, but the eco team in general, we've really worked hard to redevelop, restore, redesign that area, have planted native species in there, developed an opportunity for outdoor learning, and so that was going to be the location that we were going to clean up today. And then obviously our nice beautiful sign would be out there too. So we're going to just shift a little bit, and I'm just going to share with you really quick some of the things that our eco team does here. They are leaders, as you can tell, leaders here in the school building, but then also our goal is that they take this leadership within the school building and show in the community what else they can do as well. They've done things such as collecting bottle caps to turn into plastic benches. We have a purple martin habitat in the back of the building. That is a super cool place to be if you have time to check that out at some point. Community gardens, composting, recycling. We've eliminated plastic bag usage in the building for breakfast. We did reusable bags, yes, and or reusable trays, but all recyclable goods. We have lots of various outdoor spaces. What else, team? Am I forgetting anything? More to come. So if you have any questions for them, I know we prepped them. Lots of people may have some questions, but they're ready. So if you have any specific questions for them, feel free to ask away. And we thank you for coming today.
You're out of class, but I'm going to ask you a history lesson question here. Who is Harriet Tubman?